I contemplated answering this for a long time just because, like, I don't know. I haven't shared this yet, so if you're here for the tea, then this is definitely tea. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Tracy. We typically do activewear hauls here, but this one's a little bit different, okay? I went on my Instagram and I asked you guys to ask me any burning questions that you had, anything that you wanted to know about, any tea that you were dying to hear about, just juicy questions. And I actually made it anonymous because nobody was asking the questions whenever I just posted the question box on my account. I was like, you know what? Let's just make it anonymous and see what the people had to ask. And let me just say, y'all had a lot of questions about a lot of things, which we will get into. If you can see here, we are in my bedroom. It's a little bit more of a chill vibe. I always considered myself to be a pretty open book. We got some tea to get into, so let's just hop right on into it. All the questions are on my handy dandy phone, so I was contemplating either starting out super mild or just going in with the tea, and I said, I'm gonna give the people what they want and go in with the tea. With that being said, the first question is, would you ever consider being an exclusive athlete with an activewear brand? The answer is no, because listen, if you are an OG, you would know that I started my page just loving so many different types of activewear. I've just always, like, I'm looking at my closet right now because it's right behind me. There's just so many different brands that I love for very different reasons, and I just personally could not ever, at this point in my life, I could never see myself going exclusive with a brand at all. I've actually had 2 brands that reached out to me that wanted me to be exclusive. I love activewear so much to the point where I freaking made a YouTube channel to talk further in depth about activewear in a longer form for you guys. So it just wouldn't sit right with me to work with a brand exclusively. The OGs know, and even if you're new here, you would know how much I love different types of activewear. I just could never see myself going exclusive, and that's just me. This actually ties into the next 2 questions that I got, where I'll answer the first one first, where somebody asked, are you going to stay with Vitality now that you have other athletic brand partnerships? Yes. But then that ties into the next question where somebody said, ugh, so I want to know the tea with you and Abby. Bestie, hey, if you're watching this, working with Vitality less and moving towards other brands, but I also respect your opinion and not wanting to sell anybody out publicly. So thank you for saying that last part. I appreciate it. I'm not going to speak for Abby. I think that she has said her piece on her Instagram account and she's already stated her reasons for leaving. So if you want to ask her that, then go ahead and ask her that. But for me personally, I personally don't think that I've been working with Vitality less. I have always been an affiliate with them. I worked with them since I believe it was July of last year. And if you're referring to me either talking on my stories about Vitality or not posting YouTube videos reviewing Vitality, it's because of this. I am never hesitant to voice my concerns to any of the brands that I'm working with, but one of the more recent things with Vitality that I've voiced is that there are so many small drops, and it is really frustrating for me to have the time to create content with such a quick turnaround time and to be able to provide you guys with the adequate amount of information before a drop. Like, as of more recent, for example, Cosmopolitan, let's say, they had a 4 to 5 day turnaround time from the day that they announced the collection dropping to the day that it actually launched. 3 to 4 days is not enough time for me to create a YouTube video. It barely gives me enough time to create a reel, let alone work out in the pieces and wash them as well to provide a very detailed review for you guys. Other brands that I've worked with, for example, Buff Bunny Collection, Paragon Fitwear, their launch dates are typically 2 to 3 weeks out in advance, which gives me a lot more time to be able to create content, work out, wash them, go out in them, whatever the case may be. I'm just somebody who is so, I believe, thorough in my reviews for activewear that I wouldn't want to half-ass a review for you guys or get something up just to get my coin. That's just not who I am. So if you've seen me work with Vitality less, that might be why. I know that they have a specific reason as to why they're doing drops and whatnot instead of these huge launches or whatever, but if you're asking that question to me specifically, then there you go. Alrighty then, on to something a little bit more mild. How many boyfriends have you had? If we are counting high school moving forward, then I've only had 2, with Gio being one of them. If y'all don't know, I've been dating Gio for over 6 years now. We literally met whenever we were basically kids. I was 18 at the time that I met Gio, I believe. So yeah, before him, only 1 boyfriend in high school at least. I don't count anything before high school, honestly. So yeah, hope that answers your question. Tell me a random fact, you guys. I've been been waiting for this question. I feel like in previous years, whenever I get asked this during school for icebreakers or even for work and things like that, I just come up with the most weird things that don't really matter. It's not like a cool random fact, but since then, once I realized that, wait, this is actually kind of a really sick fact, I wrote it down in my notes and now I get a chance to say it. But my random fact is that back in 2016, I interned for the Kellogg company up in Michigan. I was part of the intern group who created Pop-Tart Bites. We created Pop-Tart Bites, and I know you guys have seen Pop-Tart Bites before, because if you haven't, you're freaking lying, because I know y'all stay going to the cereal aisle at grocery stores and it's just right there in its own little section, okay? Basically, there's an event that Kellogg does for all the interns every year called the Intern Moonlighting Event, where you can go with a group of your intern friends and create a product for Kellogg where you'll present it to their executives and whatnot at the end of the summer, and if they like the product, then they'll go ahead and manufacture it to have it be in retail stores worldwide. And I was a part of the team who created Pop-Tart Bites. My intern friend, he was the one who came up with the idea, and he recruited me to come up with the marketing and sales strategy for Pop-Tart Bites. So that is my random fact. I wish that we got a percentage of those freaking sales because I know that they're doing so well, but Pop-Tart Bites, we did that! Would or have you, I'm assuming that you is in there, would or have you considered opening an OnlyFans account? Listen. I have listened to so many podcasts, seen so many videos, and not because I'm like searching for them, they just kind of pop up because, for example, Max Tuning interviewed a couple people who started OnlyFans accounts and whatnot, and they are wildly successful. They are wildly successful. Some of these girls are saying that they're making 50K, 100K in their first month starting OnlyFans, not even having promoted them, and I'm like, it'd be nice. But no, to answer your question, no, I have not. It's just really interesting to see different avenues of money that you could make, and a lot of money at that too. To the people who do OnlyFans, hey, get your motherfucking bag. This one is a little bit deep. Has anybody backstabbed you in the back before? Yes, very, very recently, actually. I'm obviously not gonna get into the details about the situations at all, but yeah, the whole meaning of backstabbing is that it happens without you even knowing, right? It happens behind your back. You either find out about it or somebody tells you about it. How do I word this? I lost a lot of trust in people after those two situations happened, but it did allow me to look more inwardly. I sought therapy, not only for that situation, obviously, but that situation was a part of what my therapist and I talked about, where a lot of the times I do tend to give people the benefit of the doubt, which I don't think that's a bad thing, but due to that, I am very naive and I tend to people please. And that's something that I'm continuing to work on. So because of all those things combined, amongst other things, I'm sure, I tend to turn a blind eye towards a lot of things that potentially are just toxic for me. So yeah, whenever the situation happened to me, it hurt a shit ton and it took me a long time to get over it. I have gotten to a place where I've completely healed from it, but to answer your question, yes, I have been backstabbed before. Next up, what do you do to get so many activewear partnerships? So I personally do not think that I do anything to get a brand's attention. That has never been me. I feel like I show up pretty authentically on my page, and I hope that that comes across to you guys, but the biggest pointers that I could possibly ever give out is to, one, be consistent, and two is authenticity. I think that people can spot fakeness from a freaking mile away. If I like an activewear brand, then I'll invest in them and I'll wear their clothes and things like that. Like, my whole thing is activewear reviews, posting workouts, coaching, things like that, and mental health things as well. So if a company resonates with that and if our values align from what they're seeing from my social media, then they'll reach out to me. If that answers your question, sorry. Skin routine, please. I've had a lot of questions about this and I appreciate it so much because I don't know if I've shared it on YouTube ever, but I struggled with acne for a majority of my life. I would say ever since I was 10 all the way up to the age of 22, 23-ish. I would say that from the years of me being 10 to 20 were just straight up hormones from puberty and whatnot. My doctor actually suggested for me to go on birth control, but my mother said no. She was like, I don't believe in birth control. It has terrible side effects, da 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 da. Genetic acne, at least, was just something that ran in my family. With that being said, I tried Curology. Oh my god, I tried all these freaking scrubs. I tried everything under the sun from the internet and none of that worked. But again, that was just straight up hormones. But I think it was once I was like in my last years of college was when it got really, really bad because of stress from school and things like that. Under my mom's insurance, I actually went and saw a dermatologist. Seeing a dermatologist helped a lot because she prescribed a lot of topicals and lotions and things like that that really helped me, to where now I feel like as a fully fledged adult, my acne just kind of went away over time. But if I come closer, I feel like you'll be able to see, yeah, I still have yes, scars. Like, those are there for life. Skin texture is normal. It is what it is. I don't really ever care about the skin texture, at least at all, but moisturizer is my best freaking friend, but otherwise I don't touch my skin at all. I don't let anything touch my face whenever I'm on the phone. I usually put it on speaker, and I never put it towards my ear because you're just touching your phone with your fingers all day and holding it up to your ear. There's a lot of like oils and bacteria that can get up there. So yeah, girl, don't hold your phone up to your face. Don't freaking touch your skin. Wash your face all the time. Use moisturizer, use sunscreen, and for me, at least, that's about it. I don't have a routine. I'm sorry. Next up, what do you do for a living? Okay, I contemplated answering this for a long time just because, like, I don't know. I get really scared of the internet, which is kind of ironic, right? Because I literally am on it every single day, and I haven't shared this yet. So if you're here for the tea, then this is definitely tea. But I actually quit my job back in August. I think it was a month or two before that. I told you guys that I was interviewing for a promotion at my job. I had been at that job for over 2 years at that point, and not only was it underpaying me, the environment was really, really freaking toxic. And the first job that I had at a college was already really toxic for my mental health. Like, it caused me so much stress and just mental anguish because of the leadership that I had, that I actually was hospitalized for sepsis. The doctors were basically saying that they couldn't find anything that was wrong with my vital organs or anything like that. They were saying that the stress that this job caused me was the reason why my body just completely shut down. So whenever I joined this new company, which is why I moved here to Austin, I really had high hopes that this job was going to fulfill me. It was going to make me climb up the corporate ladder because I was a huge corporate gal. Oh my God, I was such a huge corporate girl. I was like, yes, suits and heels, bad bitch, whatever, this, that, the other. And yeah, I was in this role for over 2 years. I was screwed over many times. Every single one of those friends that I made there can all attest to this, but I've been screwed over in so many ways from this company. Anywho, I was finally up for promotion. Finally, after so long, I interviewed. I got the role. I am getting promoted. I'm moving up the corporate ladder, and just for it to get rescinded, the manager who I was going to report to once I got promoted called me and told me that the offer was rescinded because of the hiring freeze due to this recession that they thought was coming and whatnot. So I was at a very low point for a while. Because I feel like growing up, something that I've also had to work on is not putting my worth in the awards that I get from school, the amount of money that I make, the promotions that I get at work. I put a lot of pressure on myself to climb up the corporate ladder, and that to me was indicative of who Tracy is as a person. Because like I said, I put my self-worth in those things. So for me to not get this promotion, something that I've worked on for 2 fucking years, excuse my freaking language, it was really frustrating. And I think that was the final straw that told me that I'm not gonna work at this company anymore. And I was really grateful that I started my coaching business whenever I did, because my biggest thing with quitting my job was that I have to make more with coaching and social media that I'm making at my corporate job. I've had people look down on me for staying with this company for paying me so little, saying like, oh, what's wrong with you? Like, why don't you just leave and work somewhere else and da 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 da. But my passion is in coaching. It is with helping women find this balance between their lives and tying that together with fitness, which is why I just love doing what I do. And I just also felt like, man, if only I had more time with my social media, I really feel like I can grow it and make an impact and just do everything that I've always wanted to with it. So if you guys have noticed me posting more on my stories or more reels, more TikToks, like a YouTube video every single week for the past like 2 months or so, that's why, because I am really happy with what I do right now. I'm getting emotional because like, I just don't want, I already know judgment is gonna come from this, but like, I don't know. I share so much of my life that it feels almost like wrong to hide this from you guys, because I don't want to feel like I've been lying to y'all. And maybe this should be its own freaking video. It really should be its own video, but I didn't want it to be the main focus. But like, I'm really proud of myself at the end of the day. And I keep having to remind myself that despite any judgment that I receive, anybody who decides to unfollow me because they're like, oh my God, another freaking like girl turned fitness influencer, coach, whatever. I'm really proud of myself for leaving the company that I used to work for. I'm really proud of myself for not putting my self-worth in climbing the corporate ladder, because I could give a crap less about corporate, bro. Like, but let me not, like, whoever loves corporate, like if you're thriving, then like thrive, okay? But for me personally, and what I want to do with my life as of right now, with how difficult of a decision it was for me to even leave in the first place and to freaking take a bet on myself and to risk myself in order to pursue what I love, which because of my social media, I've been able to find my passion with fitness coaching, which is why I have this business that I have right now. So I feel like we've just seen this roller coaster of emotions, but at the end of the day, I'm really sound in my decision, and I just hope that you guys also receive it with grace, because this is something that I manifested since the beginning of this year, where I told myself in my 2022 vision board video that I posted in January that by the end of this year, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to do this full time. And guess the fuck what? I freaking did it. So I've never been happier, and I think that like if you follow me on Instagram and watch me through my stories, that you're able to see that too, that I really am thriving. I feel my mental health has not been any better than it has been now. So there's that. Okay, with that being said, that was a pretty loaded Q&A, guys. Like, y'all were asking for the tea, and I hope that y'all enjoyed what you got, because that was a lot for me. But overall, I hope that y'all found this entertaining. If you want to see more, then I'll post more of these question boxes on my Instagram stories. All you have to do is follow me over on Instagram, and once I do post those, then you can feel free to ask me what the heck ever. Like I said, I feel like for the most part, I'm pretty much an open book, so I'll never hesitate to do one of these videos if y'all are interested in them. Until then, go ahead and give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more videos coming your way so soon, and I cannot wait to talk to you guys later. So peace.